Nissan is a closed press box, so you will not freeze your rear end off.
Is there heaters on the bed?
These are the things we worry about, Frank.
We've had some outdoor press boxes for sure. Everyone ready? Let's go ahead for Frank.
As always, can you provide any status updates on any of the players who have missed the past couple of games?
Well, Miles is still not ready. Edgar Castillo. Rosetto is in Brazil right now, making an appointment for his visa. Manuel Castro has his approval, so he's going to be coming days. Probably he's coming towards Atlanta, so that's good news. Do I forget somebody?
George?
Hello.
But George Bello is quite good, so he's going to play a friendly game on Saturday with the USL, and then probably when he's cleared from that, he's clear for the roster to participate.
We talked a lot about Pizzi after the game. Also wanted to get your thoughts on Barco. He was a guy who missed a lot of the season last year with various injuries and international duty. How important is he going to be to get consistent playing time throughout this season?
Well, you have like players like, especially like Barco, who can make the difference when you come out of pressure. He can. Even though he has a guy in his back, he can turn right, left with his quick turning, and he can play the 1-against-1, to create an overload or the 1-against-1 in the back from the opponent. So yeah, I think he's crucial for that. I think he already played a really good game last Tuesday. I think he has confidence, and the only thing that he has to do right now, to get involved, also to make goals, of course. But I'm really pleased with his work ethic and also, towards the goal. So now he has to reward himself to score a goal. We had, I think, the ball dropped in the 18-yard box was the first big chance for us, and get a good block. But you want him also to score goals. He wants to feel important. So that's always important. Nice for us. Attacking mindful player who, when he scores, that gives even more confidence. But I think he's doing really well.
What challenges does it present facing a first-year team, getting ready for a team that you don't have to take on, really?
In Nashville, you mean?
Yes.
Well, Nashville, we have to wait. We know probably how they play, but what kind of ambience in the stadium, how the pitch is and everything. So for them, it's something new. They're gonna be maybe also a little bit nervous, but we're gonna have a lot of respect for them, and they want to put something nice, of course, on the pitch Saturday, because it's the first home game for them, and so we have to be really good prepared. And but for them, it's fantastic, first official MLS game, and so it's going to be a lot of tension, and but we have to play our own game, and then have confidence in a good result.
Last year, you said you don't like to rotate, more than probably 3 guys out of the starting formation. Y'all start 6 games in 22 days, I think it is, on Saturday, and you're only at the beginning of the season. I'm curious if you still think that way about the 3 players in the starting formation, if you're giving any thought to how to kind of keep legs fresh, especially with Club America.
Yeah, of course. And right now we have, of course, Saturday and then Saturday, so normally we don't gonna see that much changes in the roster in the starting 11, but towards the American Club America game, then we have to see what is available and where we get from both teams the best result, but also with the rotation maybe that we needed to do. So we are really on top of that, and if we can rotate, we will not hesitate to do it.
Was there anything you learned last year about that you're applying to this year? I remember, going back specifically, you played a lot of the guys in the DC opener that
Yeah.
then played in Monterey,
Yeah.
and they kind of ran out of legs
Yeah.
around 75 minutes or so.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, well, DC was our first game,
Yeah.
I
Right.
think. So you wanted to have also a good start in the MLS.
Mm-hmm.
So especially me, as maybe as a new coach, also, you want to have that feeling, and because when you have a bad result down, we had at the end a bad result,
Right.
but if it's a bad result, you bring it also to the next game. So it's always that balance that you are walking on. Do I rotate too much and have too much influence in the quality of the team, and where are your priorities and everything? But of course now it's a little bit different, and but I'm gonna put a lot of time in it, to make the right choice. And if I need to rotate people, I will not hesitate to do it.
Are you? I know this is kind of down the road. Are you excited to get to go to Estadio Azteca and play Club America?
Yes, it's going to be my first experience there. So it's one of those legend stadium in the world. So and as you know how many games I played or coached, I never been there. So it's almost how do you call it? Bucket list, but like if a player like me or a coach like never been there, something is not right. So for me, also for me, so I have to be there one time. So I'm glad I have the possibility, to not to play but to coach there. So it should be a great experience.
Yeah, I was curious if in Europe it was thought of the same as some of the cathedrals of soccer in Europe.
Yeah, if everybody, talk about Azteca, if it's talk about Wembley, Camp Nou, or in Brazil, how do you call it? What?
Bernbach?
No, Brazil in the very big one. Maracana.
Yeah.
Those are famous stadiums, so for me, Azteca is the same.
Frank, when the team came together at the beginning of last season, you kind of gave them a message about being the hunters, not the hunted, and that kind of thing. I'm wondering if you've given any kind of message along those lines this year, or if not, just what is the mentality of this team as the season gets started?
Well, we are not the hunted anymore. We are just one of those teams who are favorite, to come in the playoffs, and that we want to achieve, of course, and be consistent, more consistent than last season, especially away games. If we win like 50% of our away games, what we did last season, then we have a lot of points more, So then I'm really have confidence that we are number one. So if we can manage that, not so that we're not so inconsistent in away games, then we have a bright future ahead of us. So that's one of our goals, to understand that you have to be ready every game, and not only in your home stadium.
When do you think Robinson is going to be able to rejoin training?
Well, he's doing really well right now, so it's going to be really fast right now. But those kind of injuries, you don't really want to push it that far, because if it's going wrong, he is still like 3 weeks back again, So of course you want him because he was he's still a good player and important player for our roster, and you want him as quickly as possible back, to have those options. But it's still very long, when you see, end of the season probably, then maybe he will be almost ready, and take that risk. But now you cannot do that, and so we take it step by step and listen carefully to him, but also to the medical staff.
So there is no timetable for him?
Right now, no.
And is Castillo's injury long term?
No, I think right now, what I heard, he trained with our Jack Kimmler this morning, and he didn't feel discomfort. So it looks really that he made a really good step today. So probably, depends, with contact, that's the most difficult part, when you have someone broke a rib. So that we have to wait how it goes. But right now he can do everything pain-free, turning and really sprinting. So I think he's going to join very quickly, maybe after Nashville he's going to join the group again.
And what is Nielsen's, the draft pick Nielsen?
Yeah, well,
status?
he received a knock in preseason training, and he didn't pay that much attention to it, you know, because you're young and you want to show yourself, and then he get another knock on it in the friendly game, and from that day on, you know, he's really bothering him, and he's not really to do a lot of things, and a lot of, you know, like a lot of, how do you call it, pressure on his I think his left leg. So it's a difficult. His shin, you know, his chin is a little bit swollen, and every time when he really puts pressure on it, you know, he's feeling it still. So for us, we have to take really precaution with him, because I remember that also from other players, you know, when you start too soon, you know, it's almost gonna be chronic. So it's a very pity for him, because I think he did it really well one time also in the friendly game, but he wants to show himself. But right now, he has to make 2 steps back. Hopefully, he can come back strongly.
And Castro is going to join like Monday?
Hopefully, you know, hopefully he's then I can see his face. You know, should be nice.
Do you think, I know it's just the first game with Nashville, but do you think it could be started, maybe start a new rivalry in the South between Nashville?
Well, you know, I think that's always nice, you know, for the fans, you know, to have like a rivalry between 2 clubs, you know, who are close by, and you know, there are special games, and that gives you an extra spirit, you know, tension to play this kind of game. So it should be nice, I think, for MLS, but it's also, you know, for the fans of Nashville and Atlanta United.
Anything else, Frank?
Atmosphere there, they sold up to 60,000 tickets for this match. Yeah, it's supposed to be a good atmosphere.
Yeah.
Something y'all are used to, but different on the road. You guys discuss that?
No, not yet, and you know, I think for every player is, you know, to play in a big stadium with a lot of fans. You know, that's why you're starting to play soccer. You know, to play in this kind of atmosphere and this kind of game. So I'm only promoting that. You know, like a empty stadium. You know, there's nothing like a crowded stadium who like 95% is against you. You know. I think that's the best way, you know, to play soccer, because hope you want to get them quiet, you know. That's the most, that's the nicest thing, you know. And but for them, it's great, and it's great for MLS, that's for sure.
Anything else? Thanks, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Frank.
Thank you.